think about the Indian academics here, right from the primary education, school education, and the secondary education, higher educations? How do you see it, your viewpoints?
I came to the conference to learn more about the Indian education system, and what I see is that it's in a state of transition as the system tries to accommodate the very high numbers of people who are in the demographic dividend that India is enjoying. So obviously it's a challenge for the system to accommodate that number of people. But I see a real determination to create a system of quality that's accessible and that will provide the kind of preparation that's needed for the India of tomorrow. So I'm very impressed by the commitment and determination on the part of the academic institutions themselves, the government and industry in making common cause in that regard.
And we are now starting up with the Skilling India program, and even Digital India. So we are getting more ICT into the education platform, and in Skilling India we are bringing in the skill education, the vocational courses to be, more vocational courses to be included in the colleges and even the primary education level. What do you think? How much is skill development needed in education sector?
It's an essential component, no question about it. Many of the presentations at this conference focused on the need for skills to meet the demands of India's growing economy. I guess the point I would make is that we cannot overlook as well the importance of education in terms of developing the person. You not only want someone with skills, but you also want people in your workforce with the capacity for critical thinking, people with broad knowledge of the humanities and social sciences, people who are able to write, people who are able to evaluate options in terms of governance or public administration or public policy. So I think all aspects of education are important. Yes, vocational skills, because as a practical matter we need them. But we should also make sure the educational system provides for human development in the sense that people are seen as whole people, not just technicians, but people who need to have their judgment and their skills prepared in other ways, including critical thinking.
And how many students are there in your country? Indian students are coming in, and what kind of programs they want, and what kind of programs you offer? Just
well,
university and
Canada is much like India in a much smaller scale. Our post-secondary system offers a variety of education from vocational and skills training through to law and medicine and arts and humanities, so a very broad spectrum as you find here in India. Our demographics are quite different. In the next 5 years we expect to see a decline in the number of university or college-aged young Canadians. That will pick up again in 2020, but we're certainly not looking at the same numbers that you are, nor the same demands upon the system. But I think we have a great deal to learn from each other, and the reason I'm at this conference is to learn more about how India and its institutions are confronting the challenges of meeting market demands on the one hand and educating a population on the other. So, and we're happy to share the experiences that we've had in Canada. And I think that exchange of viewpoints, perspectives, and experience is really to common advantage.
if it only you say three key points, why should Indian students come to Canada for higher education or for the university education? What would be those three key points for the Indian students to come to Canada for education?
Well, I don't want to leave the impression it's a one-way street. I'm interested in seeing Canadian students come to India as well. I think it'd be a fabulous addition to the education of a Canadian to spend time at one of your institutions. So I hope we develop a two-way street. At the moment, there's not sufficient traffic between Canadian and Indian universities, institutes, research centers, and I think we have to broaden that. So,
how would it be? Like, what is the? Do you think the Indian HRD ministry, the Human Resource Development Ministry, should do something, and from Canada, the government is doing something to synergize better education ties between both the countries?
I think much of the reason for the lack of traffic is Canada's fault. We haven't really branded ourselves in India as a desirable destination for post-secondary education, and yet we have some of the best universities in the world. The price for tuition is relatively affordable compared to some of the other places Indian students go, including the United States and the United Kingdom. And we offer a very wide variety of education, from the vocational through to the academic, and both undergraduate and graduate. So I think it's up to Canada and its universities and its government to let it be known here in India that we are indeed a destination that's highly desirable for Indian students. And at the same time, people like me should make sure that our Canadian students are aware of opportunities here in India. I think also research collaboration is terribly important. As a research-intensive university, we're always looking for partners.
Like, what kind of research you would be looking forward for the Canadian students in India? Like topics of subjects like nanotechnology, or can you just name a few?
Well, Canadian universities, especially the research-intensive universities, in, for example, the U15 consortium of universities, engage in world-class research across the spectrum. At the University of Ottawa, our particular areas of focus are health, including population health, stem cell research, neurosciences, cardiovascular and cancer research, science and engineering, including photonics and catalysis, the development of medical devices, new medical devices, but also public policy and law, public administration and governance, human rights. So we have a broad area of interest in our research intensity, and we're always looking for quality partners, and we're confident we'll find many of them here in India. So one of the reasons for my being here is to make it known we're looking for partnerships in research, and we look forward to collaborations with Indian institutions.
So by 2020 or 5 years down the lane, where do you see the Canadian universities? Like, will you open a branch in India? You'll have something like that. What is your way ahead, future ahead? What do you see? Maybe 5 years down.
Well, I don't know that our collaboration will include opening branch campuses, but I hope it will include research partnerships. I hope it will include transnational education, where we have perhaps common degrees being awarded, where we have co-tutelle arrangements in doctoral programs, where we have 3+2 arrangements with Indian universities and institutes. But above all, I hope that we broaden that bridge that connects the two countries. We have so much in common, and there are now over 1 million Canadians of Indian heritage, so we have a strong cultural tie, and I just believe it's very much to our mutual advantage to develop those ties, and education is a wonderful way of doing it. Thank you.